You know things are about to get very real when Steins Gate's opening is skipped and you see just the title pop up. And I guess this can actually go for any really good show. When an opening is usually skipped, that means something crazy is about to happen. Usually the opening song is going to be used for a certain portion of part of the episode, or they're skipping it because they really want to adapt a lot of content and have a really emotional ending sequence. And that's exactly what we got for this week's episode of Steins Gate Zero. Well worth the wait, by the way. Like, it's been like almost 2 weeks now since an episode of Steins Gate came out, and, you know, I'm pretty happy to finally have it back, because I love my Steins Gate. I missed it, because last week it was really dead on Wednesday, having nothing that came out. I was really bored, not gonna lie, I was kind of bored, so I'm glad that, you know, Steins Gate finally came out. But can I just say that this episode felt incredibly short? Even though the opening song was skipped, it felt very short to me. And once again, this is what I said in my Overlord video the other day, is that anytime that you have something you really enjoy, something that's really good, if you sit down and watch it, it ends really quickly. It's like 5 minutes, and that's what this felt like to me. I was sitting there watching it, I see, you know, Okabe, he wakes up, and then the episode ends. He's like, you know, get the time leak machine ready, and I'm like, really? The episode's already ending? I'm a little bit upset, but, you know, that's what happens when you're watching good anime. So, let's talk about something that really caught me by surprise. And that is the reveal that Okabe wasn't really dead all along. You know, if I had a hat, I would tip my hat to the writer of Steins Gate, because that was a very well done reveal. Because for a very long time now, since Steins Gate, like the original Steins Gate, it's been established that Okabe died in 2025. Like, he died. But somehow, he managed to live on past that, which we found out in this episode. And that was the biggest shocker to me. I never expected the show to pull something like that. Basically, lying to us, the audience, throughout the entirety of the series. Like, if you would have never watched Steins Gate Zero, and you would have, let's just say, just watched Steins Gate, you would have never have known the truth about, you know, Okabe actually being able to live past 2025. You know, the entire world was lied to, and the entire fan base of Steins Gate was lied to, which I think is very meta, in a way, because when you think about how the, you know, the timeline of Steins Gate is reached in the first place, it's thanks to lying to the world, thanks to faking Kurisu's death and all that, which in turn creates the Steins Gate world line. So I do like the fact that this entire reveal is very meta. It was something that really fits in line with what Steins Gate is about and what the main objective of the series is, at the very least for Steins Gate Zero. So just job well done, writer of Steins Gate. You definitely caught me by surprise. That's definitely something that I was very excited to see with this episode, especially with the whole reveal. I'm like, whoa, like, he's alive? That blew me away. But okay, so let's talk about the details. What exactly happened, and what happened to Okabe? Like, you know, how did he manage to come to the future instead of time leaping back? Because everything we've seen from Steins Gate to Steins Gate Zero, there's really no way Okabe can really go to the future. It doesn't really make much sense whatsoever from what we have personally seen. And to kind of explain from what I understood from this episode, now I could be wrong, any of you that know a better theory or actual accurate information or understood it better, you know, correct me in the comments below. But from what I understood from the episode when it came to Okabe, you know, arriving in like 2030s, is because he actually never time leaped to begin with. From the information that was kind of given, from what I could understand, is that there was never an Okabe that went back to the past. For instance, when they tried to use it, it did not work, and because it did not work, Okabe continued to live out his life down this world line, this timeline. And as he lived his life to 2025 to where he was destined to die, he effectively became brain dead. Like, he was someone that was pretty much dead. Like, even though his body was alive, he was technically dead. So in the world's case, the world thought he was dead the entire time. We thought he was dead, the world thought he was dead, and so that's kind of what happened. And technically, Okabe is still kind of dead, because the one that lived from 2025 up to there is technically gone. The Okabe that we see in this episode is the Okabe that had his memories implanted in the body of his 2030 self, or 2025 self, if we're not counting the age of when he was just a vegetable. So, yeah, my understanding is that Okabe never time leaped. Time passed onward. He moved on with his life. He died, but he didn't really die. And then the data from the computer that was left in the computer, instead of actually going back in the past, was implanted in the body. And then here we are with this episode. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below. But okay, so with all that being said, Okabe gets a very harsh reality check. Like, he gets to wake up and really see what decision he made. See, he's already seen some bad things happen. He's seen Mayuri sacrifice herself, Suzu, he doesn't really know they're dead. We don't know they're really dead or not. I mean, I'm assuming they're alive, but we didn't even see Mayuri in this episode, so they're still not back, which really just opens the door up for what the hell's going on with Kagari. I'm very confused about that one, but despite that, just, looking past that, maybe a time paradox was created or something. I mean, this is a time travel series. The point is that Okabe got to see firsthand the decision he made, what he did, what it caused. Because if he didn't decide to back out, freak out, and not continue forward, this wouldn't have happened. But he backed out, which in turn has caused this entire world line just to go to hell. And everybody that's died is technically on his hands. It's blood on his hands. He could have stopped this, but he didn't. And he has to realize throughout this episode that he's the cause for it. And when he starts, talking and saying, I thought I knew everything. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew World War III was about to happen, but I thought it was okay and all that. I thought I understood everything, but in reality, I didn't. I was just running away from the problem. And I did talk about this a while back when, Steins Gate Zero first started, that's kind of what Okabe was doing. He was running away from the problem instead of really just trying to tackle it, face it head on. And he's tried to slowly tackle it, and he slowly started to turn towards it, but for the most of the part of the series of Steins Gate Zero, he's ran from it. And now he was literally forced to confront that world line that he thought would be okay, that, he would wanted to protect because Kurisu sacrificed herself. And now he sees the error of his ways. And it makes that final sequence of the episode where he's like, Daru, activate the time leap machine. And I'm like, yo, that really got me excited because he realizes he cannot back away. He has to literally look at the bull and tackle that bull. He cannot back down. He has to go straight for it, no backing down. And I just love the way the episode depicts that he really has no choice anymore unless he just doesn't care and he's willing to just let everybody die, and that's on his hands. And I especially love the Ruka scene. The way Ruka went out. I felt like it was very convenient that he comes back and then, Ruka dies, but besides the convenient part about that, just to get the plot going, it was very sad because what that scene tries to represent is that Okabe, he was someone that always has tried to keep Ruka out of the problems, the mess that is what's going to happen in this timeline, the previous timelines. He's never really talked about it. I mean, we even had it earlier on in this season to where Suzu confronts Ruka's I think I now understand why Okabe never really wanted to say anything to you, why he never wanted to keep you in the loop. He wanted to keep you pure where, you weren't involved, where you could stay the way you are. He didn't want to mess with him in any way, mess with his mind, or he just started acting different. And because of that, we get to see the emotional impact of his death. When Okabe is holding Ruka in his hands, and, he's just saying his name, and then he's like, am I officially a comrade now? Am I a lab member? And which goes along with the inferiority complex that Ruka's always had. We've seen this time and time again throughout Steins Gate, but also in Steins Gate Zero, we have seen it. And seeing that scene happen, you're like, holy crap, Ruka's just basically is like, am I finally, an official lab member? And, Okabe's like, yeah, you are. You are official. You've always been. And then the entire sword fighting that we saw Ruka do in this episode was something that Okabe has been teaching Ruka for a very long time. It's not something that just came out of nowhere. It's been happening for a long time, which just hits you like, Okabe technically taught Ruka in a way how to fight. And that's scary. The tools he used just to joke around and have Chuni syndrome and all that was used to actually take someone's life, and he realized that, which was a huge wake-up call for him. So yeah, this episode really just, it hits you right in the chest. Now, there is something I do want to talk about. A shout-out to Okabe's voice actor. The voice actor portraying an older version, that had to be hard to do, because, let's be real here. Okabe, he's always been this energetic, spunky dude. Even while he is depressed, he has always been energetic, or had a very lively voice. But seeing how his voice actor acted in this, episode and had this very old voice, like this just very weak and old and feeble voice. I was like, whoa, dude, like, you really going in on the voice acting. I mean, when the episode first begins and you just heard the wheezing and all that coming from Okabe, I'm like, is this even the same voice actor? Because just the way the voice is coming off, he just sounds really freaking old. So just compliments to the voice actor on portraying Okabe in a way to where he truly does seem old and feeble. Now, speaking of old, we get to see all of our characters in the 2030s and kind of how they look. We get to see Maho, which still looks like a legal lolly. We have Daru, which, holy crap, the man. Like, we already kind of saw a brief glimpse that he's a skinny dude, but seeing him actually talking and a lot of footage of him in this episode, that was very unnerving, because I'm so used to Daru being kind of like a watermelon, okay, like, a big man and an absolute unit. That's what I'm used to seeing Daru look like, and just seeing him look like he did, so skinny, I'm like, is this even the same character? Like, man, this man has lost a lot of weight. Like, good on him. I'm proud of him. And Suzu just joking is like, I think you need to lose more. I'm like, Suzu, do you... I mean, obviously this Suzu wouldn't know Okabe, because, this is the one that's a part of the timeline that's yet to probably go back. But even then, though, I'm like, Suzu, if you saw your father in the past, oh my god, like, I couldn't imagine. Like, I couldn't even imagine. So I'm like, so of all things you say to when Daru looks his best. Like, he legit looks so skinny. I just can't believe it. I'm like, is he really even the same character? But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good little scenes we got to see throughout the episode. A lot of little nods to, things that's happened in the past to Steins Gate. And I think this is definitely one of the better episodes of Steins Gate Zero. I am looking forward to seeing what happens. I am curious to see, though, the outcome of the story. Seeing what really, becomes of this Okabe, not the one that goes to the Steins Gate world line. And what really happened to Mayuri and Suzu. Because we could assume they're technically still alive. But only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.